Every confident woman I know has to face this one truth. Hiding won't get you to the life and business you desire. And I hope to unpack this a little bit more with you today. I know that at times, right, we press record or we press post and immediately we regret it. Immediately we want to crawl under a blanket. And by the way, if you've ever felt like that, I want you to know that same, I've been there. It is not uncommon for someone to all of a sudden want to take it back. And let's be real, it's not just online that this happens. Sometimes we're hiding in plain sight every day of our lives, and we think that we have to hide in plain sight because we're going to be too much. And today, I want to tell you that in order for us to live the life of our dreams, to go after the things that we want to do, like create impact or change the lives of others, we have to be willing to, well, cringe a little bit, be uncomfortable, but more importantly, be seen. A couple of years ago, I logged into Clubhouse, and I don't know if you remember Clubhouse. It is this online app where you got to speak on quote unquote stage, right? You would go into this virtual rooms that people were discussing different topics, and there were usually some experts on the virtual stage, and you can raise your hand and come up, or you can, be invited to speak. And as I went into this room, they were speaking about posting and social media and visibility. And there were some really fantastic and big names in this room. And yet I was very uncomfortable with the conversation because some of the things that they were saying were not feasible, especially for someone who was just starting out. And at the same time, I thought some of the advice was very counterintuitive for someone to really create real connections online. And if I were someone who was just starting out, I would also feel like I wasn't enough because I wasn't doing what everybody else was doing in this room. And yet, although I felt very strong against what they were saying, I was very hesitant to raise my hand, very hesitant to put in my 2 cents. And by the way, there were people in the virtual room that I knew that I have a relationship with still to this day. And yet I couldn't bring myself to raise my hand until I had to. And I know that maybe it meant me for, creating a rift in our relationship with some of the people that were speaking on stage or outright disagreeing with someone who is considered the guru. But I took that risk mainly because sometimes we have to put aside the things that are oppressing us, the things that are keeping us down, and realize that our voice matters. And what we have to say may not necessarily be popular, may not necessarily be what someone else adopts, but our message is important because there's going to be somebody out there that needed to hear what we had to say. Now, I get it. Most of us, and if you're human and you're listening to this, you probably have some very common fears. And we all have them. We have the fear of being judged. How many times, right? Especially when we were in that middle school, we got judged by the people around us, whether it was family members or whether it was friends or the groups that we walked into in school or in the community. Now, because we've been judged, we have that tinge of fear that it's going to happen again. And many of us keep ourselves from walking into the right room, stepping into the tables, raising our hand because we're afraid of feeling the shame or the discomfort of somebody else thinking something about us. And the reality is that nobody can control somebody else's thoughts. And I, like in that room, right, in the virtual room in Clubhouse, I couldn't control what people thought of me. And yes, I had a fear of being judged, of being thought of as not knowing, but I knew in my heart what I wanted to say and what I believed. So I got over myself. Now, the other fear that a lot of individuals may have is that they fear being too much. How many times have you shrunk because you thought, oh, I don't want to seem like bossy, or I don't want to seem like I'm over the top? Sometimes we are called to be a little bit strong in our opinions. Most of the time, it's okay to be a little bit over the top in rooms where there isn't someone being over the top. Perhaps you are the leader that everybody else in that room needs, and you can inspire somebody else. Now, you don't just get over the fear, you do the thing despite the fear and know that it's going to be okay. Now, of course, many of us also fear the attention or the responsibility that we're going to have because we're stepping up and we are putting ourselves out there. Yes, there is a responsibility when we choose to be a leader, when we choose to share opinions that at times may not be popular, right? But also that fear, it's something that is just protecting us, is protecting us from that cyber tooth tiger that we used to be afraid of long, long ago. But today, my friends, people's opinions and in spaces where you may speak up and you fear that you don't belong, doesn't mean that it's going to hurt you or kill you. It is going to help you build confidence. It is also going to help you really come into your own and solidify your message, solidify who you are. Now, I know that most confident women, especially those that I've come in contact with, even the ones who are crushing it still wrestle with all of this from time to time. And I'm here to tell you that I am no different from that. I second guess myself. I remember when I was getting ready to launch my business, and I'd been debating with the fact, I knew that it was time to leave my corporate career, and yet I didn't take the leap right away. Why? Because I was afraid of what people were going to think. I was afraid of people thinking I was crazy. And I put so much stock into somebody else's opinion. And yet I continued to live with the nagging feeling that there was more for me, that I could step up into something different, that there was a space where I could create a difference for somebody else, my friend. And finally, I took the leap, and not because I took the leap, but because I was laid off. And I realized that I had been hiding myself for no reason, hiding myself in a way that took away my ability to really not only live the life that I desired, but to make the impact and support others who needed me. So let's talk about what does it mean to be seen. Okay, okay. I want you to know I see you. And I hope that today you're also not only listening to me, but that you see my heart. And when we are showing up, right, it's not about being seen because we're flashy, because we're loud. It's not about that. Maybe it is. And it's okay if that's you, if that's who you are. But being seen means that you are authentic online, offline, and in meetings, in the DMs, at the dinner table, out with friends. You are you, and you are not afraid to show people who you are. And of course, that takes practice. When I met my husband's husbands' friends and their wives, I was very hesitant in the very beginning to kind of speak up. I was trying to make a good impression. And then I realized that if I was going to create relationships with these women, I needed to show them who Julie was, because Julie, whether they accepted me or not, was not going to change to be part of their group. Yes, I could still be part of their lives because my husband was friends with their husbands, but if they thought my clothes were too bright, or my voice was too intimidating or strong or loud, or that my lipstick was too red, then that was not the room that I wanted to belong in. It didn't mean that I would shun them or stay away from them. It just meant that I needed to go and find my room. Locally, when I started to show up as myself, right? I belong. I found friends that for the past 12 years have been incredibly supportive of me, not only in the dark times, the good times, but I am so grateful that I have this circle of individuals where I am seen. And I know that for you, my friend, there's people out there that will see you, that are going to love how you choose to show up in the world, whether it be with bright lipstick or not. And I know that again, all of us are craving connection. It would have been a very lonely place if I'd moved to Connecticut and I didn't have anybody that I connected with, that I belong with. So I want to encourage you that if you're hiding yourself, if you're diminishing who you are because you're afraid of what your partner, your boss, your clients, potential clients, or the communities that you're in are going to think, you need to really evaluate what's more important, to be true to yourself or to be in the wrong room. And perhaps you are in the right room and haven't given yourself the opportunity to share the real you or to give to others what they really are craving from you, which is that authenticity, which we often talk about. And sometimes I feel that it's overused, but it's real. We want real. We want the person who is willing to show up, even imperfectly, and can laugh at themselves and can say, hey, I'm human. Because when we give room to our imperfection, we're also showing others that they too belong and can be imperfect. Now, stop trying to build confidence in the shadows. That's not where we build confidence. Confidence is built in the forefront. If you've heard my TED Talk, right, I often talk about how I used to be very gregarious and outspoken as a little girl. And somewhere along the line, I ended up really becoming this introvert, shy girl for a few years until I knew that wasn't me. And I needed to say, okay, who the hell cares? And I started to, every time I felt uncomfortable in a room or every time I felt, ooh, they're going to be judging me, I needed to step up because my confidence was something that needed to be practiced. We're never going to feel confident right away. We're never going to feel like we have our shit together right away. What we are going to feel is unease. It's going to be apprehension. And if it's a new thing, of course, it's always going to be there. But if you choose to do the thing and show up imperfectly, even a little bit, then you're going to start to gain that evidence like, holy cow, I did that. Oh my God, look at me. I did that. Oh, I did that. And the more that we do that, the more that that's showing up is going to create that consistent action that gives us traction in what we're trying to accomplish. It is also going to give you the ability to see in yourself the competency at doing the thing, at showing up, at raising your hand, at speaking up. And the more competency that we have in an area, the more confidence you're going to feel in whatever it is that you're doing. So showing up for me sometimes means that I may not feel like I've got it together, but I'm going to go and I'm going to choose something that is going to make me feel good. Maybe wear my red lipstick or wear my favorite color red or listen to a song that reminds me and gets me my mind off of fear, but more into an excitement phase. So be really ready, right? To look at these different areas of your life and say, how can I show up more visibly? How can I show up even if I'm a little scared and dip my toe in the water? And again, show up again and dip maybe two toes in the water. And really think about when you are showing up and you're doing it consistently and confidently, how you will help others not only grow, but learn and be led by you, your voice, your message, your gifts. Now, let's talk about business growth or your career growth and confidence and personal fulfillment. We are going to look back in our lives and we're going to think, hmm, did I show up? Did I do it? Did I share my message? Did I become the thought leader I wanted to? Did I help the people that I knew that I have the gifts to help? All of these things will come back and be the questions you ask yourself. And that is the future self who will be asking these questions. But if you close your eyes and you begin to envision, well, I don't want to live with those regrets. And if I don't want to regret not making an impact, if I don't want to regret making a difference, if I don't want to regret keeping my voice silent, what is it that I need to do today? Right? Who do I need to be? Who do I need to show up as? And you don't have to be a carbon copy of somebody else. And just because maybe you weren't the person that was wearing the loud clothes or the red lipstick doesn't mean that you couldn't be. But find the right shade for you, find the right colors. And it could be actual colors and actual shades of lipstick, but it also could be your way of doing things that is, again, that confident person publicly in front of others, not in the shadows, not in your dreams. You are done playing small, my friends. You are done because at this state of the game, we're not 14-year-olds afraid to go into the cafeteria and wonder where we're going to sit. We're grown ass women who can take the stage, who can take that place at the table, who can take and speak their mind because they're confident in what they believe. They are confident in who they are becoming because we're never going to arrive and be that person. We're always going to be evolving. There's many tiny habits that you can use to help yourself in showing up. And I want to talk a little bit about these. First, practice. Practice doing the thing imperfectly and say, I'm going to show up. I'm going to post online, even when I don't have makeup on, or I'm going to speak my mind, even when I don't think people want to hear me. But if I have something to say, I'm going to commit to myself that I will, in a small way, do this and practice it because practice makes better. Not perfect, but better, right? Stop letting imperfection stand in the way of you showing up. The other thing that I want to encourage you, and another small thing that you can do, is use affirmations. A lot of times we scroll online, we're doing the comparison game. Stop doing that. Comparison is the thief of joy. But when you're showing up online and you're seeing somebody else doing the thing that you want to be doing, I typically would say, good for her, not for me. Why? Because I'm not at that place yet. I haven't been through their experiences. There's probably many other things that they went through that I haven't done yet to get me there. Maybe I haven't practiced. Another great affirmation that you can use is I have nothing to prove. I just show up. I have nothing to prove. I just show up, right? And say the things that are hard and find the safe spaces to say them in. This is why community is incredibly important. Our Confident You community, where women from different walks of life come in and share what they're doing and they celebrate their wins, but they also come in and sometimes say the thing that may be unpopular with others. They say it because they know that this is an accepting place, a place where we can be ourselves. And no matter what, we are going to get the support and love and affection from others that will help us keep showing up as ourselves. Now, I want to encourage you to wear that outfit, to share your story, to go out and pitch yourself, to go out and ask for the promotion. One of the biggest promotions I got, it's not because I applied for it, is because I said, hey, you need to give me that promotion. I deserve it. I've been working at that. And then all of a sudden, the founder, CEO of the company, he said, "You're right. You deserve it." But I had to speak up. And boy, was I scared. And did I think I was crazy? And did I want to pull those words right back as soon as I said them? But I'm so glad I did. And there's been other times in which I have asked, I have said the thing, I put myself out there very similarly, and the result was very different. And even though I didn't get what I was asking for, I am so grateful that I did because then I learned, okay, maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe I need to improve on this, or maybe this is not the place where I need to be. It's not the right room. Your people are waiting for you. The right rooms are expecting your presence, your gifts to come and be part of that room. So show up again as that future self. Show up as the person that can and will change the lives of others because you are choosing to step up into who you are. So before I go, I want you to think about and ask yourself these three questions. Number one, what is your one area in life or business that you are still playing small? Is it in your relationships? Is it in your community? Is it maybe you are not starting that podcast or YouTube channel, or you're not putting yourself out there as a guest? Or maybe you haven't launched that offer for your business or asked for the promotion. What is that one area? Where is that one area in your life where you were playing small? The second question that I want to ask you is, what story are you telling yourself? What story are you telling yourself, Julie? Who the hell are you to do that? I say that a lot. And I have to remind myself, ooh, did I just say that? Urkel. If you know, you know. Okay. That's the thing. What story are we telling ourselves? Are we telling ourselves we don't measure up? Are we telling ourselves that no one will take me seriously? Are we telling ourselves that I could never do that? If you're telling yourself a story, question the story. Question the story. Ask yourself, is that real? Is it true? And find ways in which you can rewrite that story, even if it is just with one sentence. And the last thing that I want to leave you with, and the last question that I want you to ask yourself is, what is one brave thing that you can do this week, right? Maybe today, hopefully today, but what is one brave thing you can do this week to let yourself be seen? Are you going to go live? Are you going to call that person to pitch yourself? Are you going to say to someone, I did great work today. Look at me, how awesome I am. Yeah. Believe in yourself. Bring others along for that. Because when you have the confidence to step up into who you are, others who need you and desire the work that you can do with them will see that's the person for me. So come join me. Come join me in this year. We're ending 2025. It's going by so fast. We have, I don't know, 4 months left. It's time for us to stop playing small. It's time for us to show up, to be the person, because visibility is not about ego, it's about impact. Visibility is about the impact and the ripple effect that you will create by living in your purpose, by saying the thing, sharing your values. And you, my friend, are made to be seen, right? And if you want help showing up, you can join me in my CEO retreat. You can come by to the Confident You Mastermind. I always love visitors. You're always welcome to visit at least once and come and see if this is the community for you. There's ways in which we can do this work together. Let's show up together because nobody in this world where we can be connected in person, online, there's no reason why anybody has to go alone. So remember, my friend, thank you for listening to this. And I hope that this helped you be able to at least think and say, am I visible? Am I showing up? And what do I need to be there? So until next time, don't forget, go confidently in the direction of your dreams.